Hello everyone, so in this video let us talk about arrays and slices. So let us start with arrays. So what is arrays actually? Arrays is just continuous blocks of memories of same data type, but the only thing is that it is static in nature. You cannot change the size of array during runtime. So let us now create an array and let us try to manipulate the data inside it and try to understand what it is actually. So let us create an array of like a fixed size. So we will start with var and let us name the array, which is, let's say, ARR. Then you'll give the size of it and a data type now, integer. That's it. That is how you can create an array, which means that it is a array, a continuous 5 blocks named as ARR. You can like reference it or use it using this name, and it is all of data type integer. Now what you can do is that, let's say you want to store some values. So let's say arrays has, now you can assume that they have 5 blocks. Okay, now for those 5 blocks, the indexing start from 0. Like the first block is indexed number 1, like the first value, like indexed. But what I mean by index is that you have to reference these values using some numbers, and the number is starting from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So because it is 5 blocks, so from 0 till 4. So let's say if you want to fill some value in the first block, you will give ARR of 0, and let us fill it with, let's say, 5. Similarly, if you want to fill the second value, which is ARR of 1, let's say I want to fill it with 10. Okay, now let us just print out the elements inside this ARR array. So I think 10. Okay, now what you can see is that though I've created an array of 5, initially all of them are initialized to 0. Now I have filled the first two values. The first one is 5, the next one is 10, and the other ones remain zeros as well as of now. So this is how you can initialize an array and fill values inside it. So as you can see that we have created 5 blocks of memory, and all of them are integer type, and like we have filled the 2 values using this syntax. Okay, now moving forward, we can create a 2D array as well. Now 2D array is actually just called a matrix. Like you can create a 2D matrix. So in that, or like you can create multiple dimensions as well. Let's say I want to create a 5 by 5 matrix. So you can create it like this. And now similarly, if you want to fill the values 0, 0. So the first row, the first value is equal to, let's say, 10. And that's it. So the name should be different. I think so. It should be named as AR1, AR1. And you can now print it out as well. So as you can see that it is a matrix in which the first, you can say the element, you can just assume that this is just 5 elements, and every element has now more 5 elements. So like you can see that it has 5 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and every element is like again have 5 elements. So it is like this first element, 0th element. So the first, which 0th means the 0th element, or like you can tell that the first element, 0th index again. So the first element, first element. Okay, so first elements, first element. Okay, so you can just change out the value. So you can just reference it out like this, and you can like change out the values out there. You can also like make n degree matrix. You can create another 5 matrix. So like first matrix, again first matrix. You can nest it anyone like until it is in memory limit. You can like nest it at any number of time. Okay, now moving forward, what you'll do next is that this is the overview of how like arrays work. There's also just one more function. Let's say that you want to find out the length of an array, though you have decided at runtime, but maybe you want to find it out. So there's one function you can use, fmt.println length, len, and then you can give whatever array you have, so AR, and you can just check out for this as well. So the answer is 5, which has 5 length. Okay, now moving forward, the next thing that we'll start with is slice. Now what is the thing that you lack, like what thing lacks in array? The only thing that lacks in array is that it is of static size. Now can we make it dynamic during runtime? Like can I like not give any size to it? I want to just insert elements or delete elements, I can just delete it. So because if it is just 5, if I want to insert one more element, that is invalid. So let's say if I want to insert an element in the same thing, let's say index 10, because there are only 5 index values, this is out of bound. If you just squiggle over it, this is out of bound, so this is not valid. So I cannot do that. So if I cannot do that, for slices I can create a dynamic sized array at any moment of time. You can increase the size, decrease the size, and that is how you can like, that is just a modification over arrays. So it's an important data type in Go, and it's a dynamic sized array. You can just assume that. Now, for slice, you can also do that. You can, there's also one more thing you can do with slices is that you can create a dynamic array. We'll talk about that, but you can also slice a array and you can get a slice of it. So you can just assume that a array is some sort of bread, and you can like slice out it and you can get a chunk out of it, which you can also call a slice. Okay, so that what I mean by this is, let's say just create an array. If I just create an array, where is an array like this? If I just create an array like this, okay, you can also create an array by the way like this also, but this is not an array actually, this is a slice. But let's say if I just create 1 2 3 5, okay, this is an array. So I have created an array, okay, of size 5, and it has 5 elements like this, and you can also print it out if you want, like, okay, just generally just in a fast manner, let's print it out as well. That is how you can also create a array. So its name is, let's say, fact1, and okay, so this is not a slice, this is an array. So let's start slice from here. But if I just done this, you can also see that we have also created an array like this of size 5. Okay, now what I want to tell you is that, let's say I want to create a variable that is cut1. So let's say, what is a cut1? Cut1 is that I want to create a slice of a factorial, like this array only, like this array fact1, from the first index till the third index, not including the third index. That is how you can create a slice. Okay, this is also called a slice. We will also create a slice, but you can assume that this is also a slice. You are creating like a segment. You're just understanding that this is how you can like take out elements. We'll talk about it. We'll take 3 examples or 4 examples, and then we'll see. Okay, I'll just copy out from here. Okay, and let us name it this. Okay, now let us just print out and just check what is the output of these. Okay, now what you'll understand from here is that what we have done is, this is just telling us, so just assume that this is the fact, this is the array. I'll just put it here just for reference. Now what you can understand from here is that we have created an array, and I want to just take out elements from it. So what you can do is that this just tells us that I want, starting from the first index, this is 0th index, the first element is 0th index, this is the first index. So starting from the first index, go till this index minus 1, which is index 2. So 1 and 2. I'll just take out 2 elements, that is 1 and 2. That is here it is printed out. That is a cut1. The next thing is that if I don't give anything, so it will initially like obviously start from 0. If there is no value, it will start from 0. So from 0th index, go to 3 minus 1, that is 2 index, that is this. So 1 2 6 are printed. If this means that I start from the first index, but it will eventually go to the end. If there is no value, it will either start from left value, that is starting, and if there is no value in the right hand side, it means that it will go to the end. So from the first index, go to the end, that is 2 to the end. And if there is no value on the other side, like it is just completely the complete array. That is how you can take out a slice of it. But whether slice, like what is actually us, like this is, like what is this exactly is, like I'm just taking out elements of it and just showing it here, actually. But there is one beautiful catch out there. What I mean by this, what catch is there? Let's say that I'll just do a small thing, and you can just pause this video and tell me what the answer is. What I've done is that, okay, we have taken out some elements, let's say from index 1 to index 2 till index 2, that is this 1 and 6, and it is stored in cut1. Okay. Now if I just change out let's say the first value, like the 0th index value, to 100, the initial value of cut1 is 1 and 2, like 2 and 6, like this, cut1, okay, 2 and 6. And if I just change the cut 0th index value, that is just first value, to 100, what will be the cut value and what will be the fact value, like whether, so this is just like this is another thing. Okay, I've just stored out here as well, but this is the actual array, the fact array. If this is the slice, what actually happens here? Let's just say fact is undefined. What? Okay. Just what you'll understand from here is that there's one crazy thing that is going on here is that when I've changed this cut 0 till 100, this has changed, which is like the initial cut one was 26, so it is changed from 106 because I've changed the first value. But the fact array is also changed. This value which is corresponding to 2, which was changed to 100, the same value which is 2 is now changed to 100 as well in the original array itself. So what you are trying to see here is that if you are taking out slices from the like another array, it's the value that you are changing, it's reference to the same value in the array itself. It's just like some sort of a, like, it's just some sort of a, you can say, a image of it. Okay, if you are like, it's just showing out what is there, but it is not changing out the memory location. Okay, if you want to change the same thing in cut, it eventually change the same thing in the array. If you just create a slice, then it will not do. But if you take a slice out of an array, out of something, then in that scenario as well, what happens is that if you change the value in the slice, it will eventually change the array itself. So don't get confused in these type of situations that what is actually happening inside the array. Okay, moving forward, what we'll do is that we can also create a slice literal, which is just, which we have told you that it's a dynamic array. Okay, we don't give sizes at the initial start. So let's say I can create a dynamic array or a slice like this. So I can just create a var. I've created an array like this. Okay, let us do the same thing. I'll just do this like this, var, but I just not give the value itself in the here itself. And let us name it var3 fmt.println. And because like this is also valid, because I'm not given the value, this is not called an array, it's called a slice now. So it's AR3, which means that I have created a slice. Now if you just like check it out, or let's say if I just don't print out, let's just print out the length of it. Let's see what is inside there. Like what is the length of this? And you can see that the length is 0. So what it actually means is that this, though it creates an array, but it's a dynamic array. Currently the size of it or the length of it is 0 eventually, now currently. So it is storing out nothing. Okay, if we have created out an array, let's say size 5, then all of their values would be 0. Now because we don't have any value, it's an empty array or like empty slice. Okay, now in an empty slice, what you can do is that you can also make a slice like this as well using the make keyword. Now how you can do that? Let us make a new array, and now you can make an array. So array is just empty sorry. Now what this initialization help you is that in this scenario you have an array. Okay, but in this array, like in this case, you have an array of size 5 all initialized to 0. In this scenario you have created a slice, but it is empty. But let's say you want to create a slice, or like you have to create a slice only, but all of them should be initialized to some like it should be having a size of 5. Okay, it should have a size of 5, but it should be a slice. It should not be an array. So you can use the make keyword to create a slice like this, like the same type, but now you give the length of it. So now if you just fmt print line of this of new ARR, you can directly check that it has created a slice of size 5 all initialized to 0 because it is like nothing is changed. Okay. Now you will do the same thing. Like if you want to change the first value, you can change with the 0th index to let's say 100. But how this is dynamic, like if you are doing the same thing, you're just changing out 0. If I just do let's say the same, if I just do new ARR 100 to 100, this will not now give an error because this is a slice. It will automatically change its size. So let's say now let's do that. Now you might think that okay, this is not given like this should change size eventually. Okay, you might think that this should change size, like, but we have not increased the size of it as of now. Like though it is not giving an error, but this is still some sort of a fixed size as of now. Okay, we can change the size, but the current size is that it has 5 elements. But what you can do is that if you just print out, let's say if I just fmt.println fmt.println of new AR, it has now, you can see that it has those 5 elements and the first element is changed to 100. That is fine. But now you want to increase this element. Let's say you want to append new elements inside it. So what you can do is you can use this append keyword. So new AR. So now the new AR is equal to append in new AR 5. And if you just print out here again, what you can understand from this is that new, like, we have used this append keyword, and this append keyword is used to add elements at the back of this new AR. So I want to append a new in the new AR element 5. So in this original array that is new AR, I've appended one more element at the back, that is 5, and it will again return a slice only. It will return a slice. So that return slice will be stored again in new AR only. Okay, and then you will now just print out new AR. So now the new AR is a new slice actually. Okay, so this slice is now returned to a new slice and it is stored in the same variable, like you can say, and then you can just like in the same array, and then the like the memory pointer is changed, and then you can just print it out and it is now a new slice. Cool. Now using the same syntax, you can add multiple elements also at the end. So you can add just, let's say 5, 6, 7, 8 also, like this. So let's say if I just move out this, if I just run this out, you can see that I have just appended 5, 6, 7, 8 directly at the end of this. So you can add multiple elements directly if you have any use case like this. So what you can understand from it is that I can now change the array size. That is why it's a slice. It is not a fixed size. You can change it at runtime. I just at the code compiling out, when the code compiles out, we don't have any fixed size. But at the runtime, I have given some elements to be added, and it's directly added out. That is how, like, that's the power of slice. And I don't think so anything is left as of now. You can now get the length of it using this length, which I've told you, like this as well. And that's it. That's the overall basic implementations you will be using out with slices and array. So if you have anything more, you can comment out in the comment box of this particular video. Thank you for watching the video till the end. If you have any doubts, you can mention out as well. So I will see you in the next one, like coding, and bye.